Might have to print it up.
Yeah, it'd be alright. Wow. I've been told that it is completely unacceptable that you're out here doing nerdy science stuff instead of putting out content on a YouTube video for 1,000 views. So I need you to figure out your life priorities, bro.
Dude, I've been so busy, man. I finally got my stuff done, so be okay. For this week, what do we got? 2 games a week or 2 games a day?
Yeah, but it's not every day. I think I was told that Thursday there's no games.
What? Thursday's like the best day, man.
What?
I don't know. I just feel like Thursday's always been pretty good.
Jibber jabber. Congrats on your decimation of the Grizzlies last night. Never doubted it.
Dude, what a win, man.
Whoa! I don't know what you just did, but that was cool.
What?
Did you add some feature to the or use that Discord thing?
Yeah, I'm blurring it out because
bro.
I probably shouldn't show like some stuff
Yeah, some motherboard to Amazon warehouse. I don't know what's back there, but you just like it looked like you. I don't know what's that nerdy. Do you watch is it anime? What's that guy that does like he'll lean down and start running? I don't know. It's in Fortnite. You just did this thing and it looked like that. Naruto. That's what it is. Yeah, I'll trigger some people. Naruto.
The Yankees are looking legit, man. What, 9-game winning streak?
Oh yeah. Best team in baseball, bro. There's no other team that's.
And Judge going east, man. All rise.
All rise. Yeah, man. Good time to be a Yankee fan. Good time.
Yeah.
Mets are good too, though. That's they need to chill out. I feel bad for Mets fans because they're finally like one of the best teams in baseball, and they don't even get credit in their own city because everybody's talking about the Yankees. Poor Mets fans.
It's like the Clippers Lakers conundrum.
Yeah, right. Oh well. Oh yeah, I remember when that Clipper squad. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. Yeah, what's up, guys? Happy Monday. It is April. You speak. I was trying to say, how do you how Cinco de Mayo? Is it Dos de Mayo? Is that what it is? We just doing this for a couple days. Happy May 2nd. Jesus H. It's a Monday. We got basketball back, and we actually have a nice little stagger between the baseball lock and the basketball lock. So baseball is like at 6, and my time is 6 or 5:40, and then NBA 6:30. So it's almost like an hour difference. So I don't have to double duty, finish, cross the finish line, stuff like that. And maybe, just maybe, I can get a lot more action on these props if we're liking what we see. So happy Monday to you guys. Appreciate you guys joining us already. I forgot to send the link out to the prize, but I think we got the link everywhere else though. So shout out to you guys already in the chat, hanging out, ready for a little bit of Monday action. We didn't have a whole lot of content over the weekend because there was a weird all-day slate, and then Josh, I tell you guys over and over, he's an actual scientist, and I guess they only had so many days to use that box of dead babies for that stem cell project that they had going on, and this morning was the deadline for that, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So instead of making a video, he had to bring.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah,
But
and,
I provided on the free Discord. I gave it the guys over the weekend the detector for Sunday Monday game. So
yeah, and y'all crushed it. I saw like
yeah,
tons of fire
ah,
screenshots in there. So if you guys are, you only watch on YouTube, man, you should definitely get in that free Discord. It's literally free, no gimmicks, man. Get in that thing. It's free. The only gimmick we need is that you guys aren't douchebags and toxic a-holes about you're an idiot for betting this or whatever. Just be positive, man. We root for everyone, and it's fun to watch those boys sweat each other, whether it be for $5, $20, $1,000, $5,000. It's a lot of fun. So get up in there, and sometimes on the weekend when we can't edit a video for you guys, we still got some content to share in there. So shout out to the live chat, Bape the Ape, Skimmer, Parker, Earth to Air, Limited, Monday, Jason Robinson. Shout out to Jason Robinson. Says intro music gives me the warm and fuzzies. Let's go, man. The song on the I just did a baseball stream, and at the end I was using like lo-fi music. DeAndre Hopkins is getting suspended 6 games.
yeah. Him and it's that trainer from to the Texans, right, man? Because Will Fuller got that PED suspension. Was it last year? 2 years ago?
Is that maybe that explains their trade a little bit more at the anyway. I just got that push noti on my phone. What was I doing? Oh, it's at the end of the baseball stream. I had this like lo-fi music, and it had this little like violin at the end, and I was like, oh man, this is giving me major Shinsuke Nakamura vibes. So that's what I was kind of jam. I had to jam that one time before I flipped the switch, man. I love that song. What up, Chris Smith? What up, Emerson's Patrick Reed? Aren't you starting at center today, Patrick Reed? Is that? That's a different Reed. It's Paul Reed. It's the same, whatever.
It's not not Paul Millsap.
No, I don't know who it is. I guess it would be Millsap. What up, Hector? Hector in chat. What up, Sean Drake? Kiefer in the chat. Comment win to claim the good energy. Let's go. Yeah. Well, on we need to do a giveaway, a comment giveaway again one of these days. I gotta open up the NBA spreadsheet. How do I not have that open? That's kind of the thing, right? It's kind of the thing. So let's get that open. And during today's stream, of course, we're going to be hunting through PrizePicks, a little bit underdog, for some prop bets to walk away with on a Monday night. Hopefully we get some really strong games of basketball, and we can walk away with some winners. So this stream powered by RunDFS.com. If you guys don't have a sub at RunDFS.com, you want access to my actual projections, not just for basketball, but I got a pretty lit baseball spreadsheet as well. You play DFS, something like that. Good way to support the site. And then, yeah, we have the free Discord, always in that. But I'm also like almost always in the voice chat in the RunDFS.com area. Today might be a little different after lock. Yankee game, important Yankee game. Girlfriend's off, so we might hang out a little bit. And I was thinking about making some steaks tonight. You know, I got some New York strips that I got sitting on the counter. So maybe I'll throw some marination on that.
What kind of marinade?
Just some rub, some I don't know, some rub we get from the local HEB sells different rub. I don't actually like. I'm not one of those dudes that has a loyalty to Uncle Buck's barbecue rub or whatever like that. I just get whatever's out there. Some speaking of Buck, I watched The Harder They Fall yesterday on Netflix. Finally, it's a Rufus Buck. It was really good. Idris Elba was in it. A lot of fun. Anyway, so I'm gonna pull up the NBC Roto World or Sports Edge depth chart here, because this is gonna be a slate, Josh, where we gotta pay attention to some news and some injuries. But let's jump into it, man. I've been blabbering. We got 2 games on the docket. Sixers at the Heat. First game on the docket, and then I guess we're putting. Do you think it's Millsap, Paul Reed? I really don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean,
what
the last
plan.
time it's interesting. Last time they played the Heat, Embiid didn't play. And they started Paul Millsap at the 5, and then he split the minutes with DeAndre Jordan, 24 and 24. But I mean, Paul Reed wasn't playing minutes then. I think it was like end of March, if you want to check.
Yeah.
But Paul Reed was starting to play more minutes towards the end of the season and playoffs. So I imagine,
yeah,
he would get more run than Millsap, right? I mean, when's the last time Millsap's played?
I mean, this is kind of the depot thing the other day, right? Like you just
Yeah.
don't know. Anyway, we got a 208.5 total down there in Miami. Miami is favored by 7.5. I put a laundry list of names on the game time decision side of things from Miami, so let's get caught up on their news. But what we do know is that Joel Embiid is going to miss at least the first 2 games, so that's something to keep an eye on. But I got cues, and I expect this playoff basketball. I expect all these cues to be in the Max Strus, the Tyler Heroes, Jimmy Butler. Like there's just very little doubt in my mind that if they can go, they're gonna go. But in the interest of appreciating the designation, there are several Q tags to keep an eye on the Heat side. But the 7.5 point spread here in favor of the home team here, I'm just going to assume all these guys are going to be good to go. Hero's dealing with a respiratory illness, and they said he's on the injury report simply for precautionary reasons. That was a blur from yesterday. And then Jimmy Butler's the other one that really truly matters because he did miss some games, miss a game in the playoffs. So as long as Jimmy can go, and we know Kyle Lowry's going to be out, Jimmy kind of starts the domino effect on what we know or is likely to happen for usage and points per minute production, stuff like that. Butler's dealing with right knee inflammation. He's listed as questionable. He's been dealing with the knee inflammation for some time now, but he was a full participant Saturday's practice. He'll be good to go for Monday, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. So I guess what is for sure is that there's no Joel Embiid and there's no Kyle Lowry. With that in mind, Heat, big favorites at home. The 76ers are without their best player. I don't think that's even. I was gonna say arguably, but it's not arguably. Joel Embiid's their best player. This is a tough matchup, all things considered. Point blank with Embiid, without Embiid, it's gonna be an uphill battle. So, Josh, have you done some meditating over the weekend on how you think you're gonna approach this one? We know without Joel Embiid, we're gonna get 40% usage on James Harden, right? Did you look at the board for the 76ers and keeping in mind how tough this matchup has been, do you like any of the Sixers props, specifically on the James Harden side? They got him at 9.5 assists, 23.5 real points, 40.5 PRA, and 46 fantasy points. So with all due respect to a tough defense, those are kind of low numbers for a guy like James Harden. But then, this is kind of a similar spot to, and I don't want to call Harden and Trae Young 1-to-1, but they just had a high usage point guard in Trae Young, and they game planned him perfectly, shut him down, and the rest of this team you chop the head off the snake. It's not going to know what to do. Do you think they do that here with James Harden? Do you think they're successful, or do you think James Harden, unlike Trae Young, can maybe combat good defense a little bit more with his inane ability to draw fouls? And do you think some of his prop lines are low enough? Because I think even if their defense guards him well, this is probably the lowest we're going to see James. Like, if James Harden beats these lines today, we're never going to get these lines this low ever again for the playoffs for James Harden. So I kind of just want to take him. This season, James Harden on the court and Embiid off the court. Harden has a 51% assist rate, a 34.4% usage rate, and for PrizePicks scoring, he's 1.37 points per minute and about 230 minutes of sample. So the sample could be better, could be worse. Talk to me, old mad scientist, on what you're doing with James Harden and these Sixers, and are they going to get blown out?
Yeah, it's always tough when you're dealing with Heat games, right? It's it's like you never want to click on it, but we have to. 2 games. I don't know. Like, so I think if the Spoelstra looks at what the Raptors essentially game planned and did through the rest of the series, like last half of the series, they basically like just gave up on giving Harden attention and just ISO'd him and didn't send doubles at him at all. And they actually directed all their attention to Maxey a lot on the perimeter in terms of the perimeter defense. So maybe, I don't know, like maybe Maxey gets more attention because he's more of an offensive threat right now. Him and Tobias than Harden is. But I mean, I think, if the Sixers are gonna start going down and trailing by a lot, then it would make sense to go with Harden's assist prop because he's just gonna they're going to live by the three ball because if you're outmatched, then the only way you can try to get out of it is just keep shooting threes, try to outscore. So the system makes sense, but I mean, you're going to rely on guys like Yang and Danny Green to make their shots. So you're putting more of your money on those guys than anything. One prop that I'd be interested in is since the amount of ball handling he's going to have, and just like just overall shot volume. What about his free throw prop?
For Harden.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like free throw props when guys are going to like dominate so much the ball handling and
yeah. No, I was actually gonna. In my mind, I was like, all right, this is gonna be the next question I got for you, and then you took it from
yeah,
me. So f you, bro. But yeah, no, he's gonna have the ball in his hand quite a bit, and then as the deficit starts to happen, like if you game script the Heat to play with the lead, and they do get into a fourth quarter, it's gonna be a lot of ISO basketball from James Harden, right? He's gonna have
yeah,
to drive it to the rack, and that's where
yeah,
the rip through move comes into play. He's going to drive to
yeah.
the rack and draw some fouls. So maybe even if it doesn't flourish in the first half, as the game script plays out the way we think it might, I think the 7 free throws is very very possible, and we know double digit free throws is a likely outcome with the type of uses that he's going to have today. So I like that. I think that the free throws stands out to me, and I was also thinking the assists might be a little light. Based
Yeah.
on his 51% assist rate.
Mhm.
The only pushback I have here is I wish he had somebody a little bit more rock steady like an Embiid to feed it to, but he'll find Maxi, and I think somebody else is gonna have to step up, even if it like we don't know for sure who's gonna get the bulk of the center minutes, whether it be Paul Reed or Paul Millsap, somebody like that. You gotta believe like if Tobias Harris doesn't step up, then they're done, right? Like this
Yeah.
is
Oh
this is
yeah.
tough. So
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe it's a positive correlation to some of these Tobias Harris lines. He's at a 16.5 fantasy point prop. That's something he cleared in his last game, and we're seeing more scoring out of him. And remember those last couple games, there was Joel Embiid, and that's not the case anymore. And we go look at that on-off court tool. Let's start adding Tobias and Maxi to this list here with Embiid off the court. I think Maxi's per minute, it probably hits 1 fantasy point per minute or greater. So looking at Tobias, he's about just under a fantasy point per minute. Now it's only 68 minutes of sample size, so that's not like stuff that we can hang our hat on, but this all passed the eye test. 0.96 for Toby, 0.93 for Maxi. So let's say 0.9 fantasy points per minute. If this game stays competitive, I've got Tobias Harris at about a 40-minute projection. So there's a question in chat. Shout out to Joseph, man. He's been asking some good questions. He was in the baseball stream. He says, how did you learn to make projections? Well, there's so many different ways you can write the algorithm, but the easiest way, like if you just need elementary, so easy a caveman can do it, the easiest way is to look at a sample size, see what they've been producing per minute, and then do a projection on it. Now, obviously, we get more sophisticated, more complicated with matchups and usage rates and who's on the court, stuff like that. But looking at this particular split with Harden, Toby, Maxi on, and Beat off, we're getting 0.96 fantasy points per minute, right? So we'll take a calculator out, we'll put 0.96, and we'll multiply that by a 40-minute projection. That's giving me 38.4 fantasy points for PrizePicks. So an easy way to look at that is go, okay, what do they got? Well, they got him at 34 fantasy points. Okay, bam, the soft projection likes him over the 34 fantasy points. So that's how Corey, or Joseph, that's a simple way to get started. But it gets a little bit more sophisticated than that. But I did want to do that as an exercise real quick. I have Tobias Harris at 39 fantasy points, 39.3. So it's slightly above that little quick math that we just did. So I guess I would ask you, talking out loud on
Mhm.
getting behind Harden free throws and Harden assists, do you believe in Tobias Harris at all to step
Yeah.
up? Because I think if he doesn't, then they don't have a shot.
No, yeah. I mean, he's he did it all last series. I mean, he was stepping up when Embiid and Harden needed him the most, and I mean, it's not a good matchup, but if yeah, it just depends on how the I don't know because it's always risky with game ones of playoff series because it changes so much. Like game one is such a wild card. Coaches kind of use it. It's like a test run, and you see what happens in the next game is going to look nothing like it defensively and scheme wise. So we're kind of just guessing at this point on what Spoelstra's going to do. But maybe he just goes against shadows the hot hand, and so if one of these guys get hot, then they're going to start to focus their attention on them. What about his rebound prop? What does he get a boost in rebound percentage when Embiid's off the court? I mean,
I guess he has to, but
he has to. But I mean, Harden's a good rebounder, and then he's Paul Reed.
Reed has the highest numbers, but it's in a very limited sample. But he's at about a 21% defensive rebound rate, no offensive rebound rate, so it's giving us it's there. But again, the Heat, it's such a rough matchup, especially front court wise, that it's hard to project here. But let's see, what do we have for his rebound prop? It's at 7.5. I'm kind of early on. I'm thinking Tobias Harris fantasy points or real points.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, since I like the rebound and the real points, I'd probably just go fantasy with them. And then what do you want to do with Maxey, man? It's going back to exactly what I just said. I have no idea what Spoelstra's going to do with him. We saw what he can do to the primary scoring guard if Harden is the distributor and Maxey's the scoring two guard. But what do you want to do with him?
I was thinking, so here's what I was thinking. We make a correlated card with the three. So Harden assist or fantasy points with Tobias Harris fantasy points or points. And then Maxey, and then we go back to the regular season, and this was a stat that I remember preaching every day. The Miami Heat did allow an elevated amount of 3 balls per game. They were top 7 in points per game allowed via the 3 ball, and a lot of that is because they were restricting the paint. They gave up the fewest points in the paint in the league with Bam Adebayo, PJ Tucker. So what about Maxey's 3-point prop? And again, that also correlates with the game script. If they're going to be playing from behind, and if they get down 7, 10 points, something like that, 2.5 threes seems pretty doggone soft. It's coming off a game where he just took 12 shots from behind the arc. So especially if he can catch, a little bit of that Tyler Hero defense. So I was thinking maybe Maxey 3s.
Yeah. I think all these Sixers guys 3s are live. I wish we had Utah Jazz legend Gorgeous Yang, but we don't have his 3-point prop. Because I'm with you. Like I said, I think that's the most likely outcome is that the Sixers are just going to try to win through high 3-point percentage shooting today.
Yeah, I think that's the best.
And then Harden has shown with this team, with this unit, he can rack up a lot of assists through the 3 ball. It's not just through Embiid and the low post.
Okay, so let's make a soft list here. By the way, chat, if you guys have, if you guys want to play some baseball picks, I just did a baseball stream, and some of the stuff I jotted down was Braves and Mets under half a run first inning, Drew Rasmussen over 4.5 Ks, and I was thinking about Alex Bregman fantasy points. So if you care, baseball's very volatile, but I do have it in my notepad, Josh. Let's call it NBA PrizePicks. So let's start ironing this out. What are we thinking? Let's put James Harden assists or fantasy points or free throws. I think all those are live, right?
Yeah, I say assist 1 if you want to do the correlation pairing of Maxey's 3 or one of the other secondary guys like Danny Green's 3.
Okay.
Or Tobias's 3-point prop.
All right, so I'm gonna put Maxey 3s, Tobias Harris.
Fantasy.
I'm thinking fantasy.
Yeah, because he'll get all the peripherals. He'll get assists too and a lot of boards.
Okay. So that's the 3 I got from the Sixers. Do you have any interest in? So they added Gorgeous Yang 7.5 points and 11 fantasy points, 11.5 PRA. So I know somebody mentioned that they were looking for his 3s. Maybe it'll come up. I think 1.5 is the number you're looking for.
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
With that line, you're betting 2.5 3s for him.
Yeah, so we'll stay away from that. Looking at the the first quarter props for Philly. They don't have any first quarter props for Philly. I guess they don't know who's going to be the center. So I guess that makes sense. So first half props for the 76ers. We got Harden chopped in half at 23 fantasy points. And hey, even in this rough series against the Raptors, first half has been the half for him, right? And he dies in the second half. So maybe if we wanted to start a little list here for first half, we'll go Harden over 23 FPS, and we probably don't have anything that's worth going after for these other guys. All the other guys are just chopping in half the full game props, so I'll go Harden first half on that. And then we'll switch over to the Heat in just a second, but let's get caught up on chat. Bape the Apes, a Sweet Baby Ray's sauce hits too. I actually have that in the fridge right now. I forgot what it was. I have some Uncle Somebody meat rub, and then I have Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. So, but I tell you, man, I'm a weirdo when it comes to steaks, and I don't want to say this because you guys just might straight up leave the channel. But it seems to be apparently, Josh, what I've learned in my last couple years is you don't discuss politics, religion, or how you like your steaks with your friends. You just don't. Because I'm a medium well guy, and if I say that, the jukebox comes to a screeching halt, everyone looks at me, get out right now, and you leave that steak. Apparently everyone in our Discord likes the cow to still be alive while they eat that thing. What up, Mike? This is Paul Reed is a friend of my nephew. Couldn't be more stoked for the kid to show the world. Let's go. That's pretty lit. As a Heat fan, I think Harden is in trouble, and Embiid is going to have to put on a helmet and get out there. Man, Aguida, they definitely going to need. I think it's an uphill battle even with Embiid. The miracle here is to hope that they steal one, and it's possible, especially if it's the game of adjustments. Spoelstra, if they're going to lose one, it's probably game one, right, Josh? And then they adjust. So I think if it's not tonight, it's never going to happen. Jeff says, You think Green starts since they aren't going to Toronto anymore? I mean, Danny Green was starting the other games too, right? He just the minute was a little bit splittier because of no Thibault, and I would probably say Danny Green's your better offense. Not that he's like a great offensive guy, but him versus Thibault, I'd probably rather have him. We're splitting hairs on Paul Millsap, Paul Reed. There's probably a lineup out there that puts Toby at the 5, and stretch out Gorgeous Niang and Maxey and maybe 3 guard sets like that, just in the interest of scoring, especially if they do play from a double-digit deficit. So, something to keep an eye on. You better take Harden under. Doc said Green would start. Yeah, Danny Green's been the starter. It's just there's like 9 to 12 minutes for Matisse Thybulle that could rear its head. But I think that's been the him versus Gorgeous Niang. Anyone try JR? So I haven't. I would definitely medium rare. See, I don't started a controversy. Medium well, you're ruining a steak gun. See, Josh, how do you like your steak? While I pull up the Heat.
I have medium well. I don't like blood in my food, man.
Thank you. All right, we are see chat. I knew you were smart. On the Heat side, we have, like I said, a laundry list of game time decisions. I'm expecting everyone to play. Hero does have a respiratory illness, so maybe keep an eye on that. Lowry's out. So, with that said, with what we know, Jimmy Butler went through full practice. Butler's he's the captain of the ship here. So we go pull up the on-off court tool for the Miami Heat. Think Milton gets a usage bump. I think that comes down to if you think that there's a death lineup, right? A cheap, poor man's death lineup. That is like Shake Milton, Maxey, Harden, Niang, Tobias Harris. And it's not impossible. Like, I think Doc might have to get creative tonight. But I think that all that would be on a hunch, and there's nothing that we can like really back that up with. So let's put Butler on.
Yeah, I mean, the Sixers could go small today because the Heat don't play big, so.
With or without A1 sauce? No, if I tell you what my favorite sauce for steak is, every one of y'all will leave. What do you think it is, Josh?
Heinz 57.
Ketchup.
It's
same, yeah. I also like teriyaki sauce too, so I'm a little different. Jimmy Butler, $1.25 fantasy point per minute. Without Lowry on the season, plenty of plenty of minutes there. Let's put Adebayo on the court with him. Get a better sample here. You know this, Pilgrim. I hit the dislike button twice. Butler goes down to 1.2. Bam Adebayo is at 1.2. So with Embiid off the court, certainly a better spot for the centers to stay on the court and not be in foul trouble. So we like Jimmy Butler here. And Butler's coming into this board with a 44 fantasy point projection, 5.5 assists. And this was one of and we didn't do content over the weekend. You were in the chat, I think, on Saturday, but if you weren't in the free chat, you might have missed out on one of the freest bets ever. Hopefully, knock on wood.
I told him about it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. If they weren't in the free Discord, they missed out on it. So what was it? The board had him at 3.5 assists.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. It wasn't just PrizePicks. It was the books. Vegas, they opened him at 3.5. On the season, he's averaging 5.5. So it didn't make sense because I was like, okay, well maybe they think like Lowry's playing, so they put him at 3.5. But that's 2 below his season average against a favorable matchup.
So you max bet the over of Jimmy Butler 3.5 assists, and if you were in the Discord, you got in on that too. That was dang near a taco Saturday, right? Like it was.
Yeah. Better than a taco.
Yeah, right.
They probably would have put it down to like 4, 4.5,
and he would have got 4 and not hit.
Which I think he will get 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So. Hopefully you guys caught it. Now, with that said, 5.5 is still alive, Josh. He's got a 28% assist rate on the season with Adebayo on the court and Kyle Lowry off the court. But, yeah, if you guys were paying attention early, they had a busted prop on Jimmy Butler. So, anyway, getting back to it, Butler's at 5.5 assists. Chat's going nuts, by the way. I knew I shouldn't have brought it up, but it is what it is. Hey, Jimmy Butler, 44 fantasy points. They got Butler at 7 free throws. I'd rather just take the assists or the fantasy points there. Adebayo's coming into this game with 2 blocks and steals. This is an undersized front court now, right? Not Embiid, so that could be something that's live. They got P.J. Tucker at 18 fantasy points. Gabe Vincent, Tyler Hero, Max Strus, all on the board. I think I want to focus on our favorite prop for a Butler, then our favorite wind sprinter, and then talk to me about what we like elsewhere. But what's your favorite Jimmy Butler prop, if anything? I think he's pretty low, too.
He is. I just don't know what to expect with this knee soreness. You think it's just like he's fine, and I mean, what if they get an early lead? Like, would they rest him more? I don't know. I'm just hesitant.
Nah. I think
he's good.
Well, he was a full participant in practice, first of all. And this
he missed Friday practice, and then he went from like, okay, he's gonna play. Then on Sunday, he was still tagged with the questionable tag.
Oh, what did I read then? It said he practiced Saturday, so he missed Friday, practiced Saturday.
Yeah.
Come on, we're talking about.
And then
practice?
Sunday he was like, I'm pretty sure he was like downgraded. He went from like verbally probable to okay, still questionable tag on Sunday.
Hey man, it's gamesmanship, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good matchup for him, man. I mean, these guys, yeah. I just don't like this game, bro. I just don't like it.
Really? Okay, I mean, so I think that's fair, and I think we've seen the Heat, with one guy out. Yeah, they can keep. This is going to be a slow-paced game too. I think that's getting a little underrated. Yeah. Is that we're dealing with 2 of the slowest paced teams in the league. Miami was second slowest, and Philly was like bottom 8 here. And maybe Embiid being out, it's going to push the pace a little bit. A guy like James Harden, we've seen him run a super fast-paced Rockets team in the past. And maybe as you start playing with a deficit, we start getting a couple of extra implied possessions. But I understand the pessimism behind clicking somebody. So I think if I had to choose one thing though, I'd probably still take Jimmy Butler 5.5 assists. I would if they gave us that 3.5, that's still huge. But 5.5, I still think is attackable.
Okay, I'm gonna let you call this one on Butler because I can't make a call on it, and I'm just gonna take that 3.5 that I already got and run with it.
All right, Larry. Let's go last 20 games assists for Butler without Kyle Lowry. 4, 8, 5, 2, 4. All right, cool, lit. 12. How many with 35 or more minutes?
You just gotta hope he doesn't go attack mode, dude.
Right. All right. So I'll put it on. I don't think it's gonna be a core, but it's gonna be. Let's go full fringe. almost type
I mean,
fridge.
it's PRA or fantasy. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, Butler, assists, or fantasy. And then, are we going to have a Bam Adebayo conversation?
I'm gonna let you steer the ship on that one too.
God dang it, bro!
Not,
Man,
I don't like playing these dudes, man.
That's
that's
fair.
I respect them as a basketball team; they're a good unit as a team. But for prop betting, and
chat. All right,
what about his rebounds? I mean, against this front court, that makes a lot of sense, right?
Mm-hmm. Also, 2 blocks and steals.
You're gonna win spray into some rebounds, bro. Like.
All right, I don't mind that. Let's see if we're getting a better line on underdog for any of these. Underdog's giving us Harden at 9.5 assists, 7 rebounds, 2.5 threes. They also have Maxey at 2.5 threes, so we can kind of 1-to-1 that prop. We didn't have a Harden fantasy point. And then Jimmy Butler's at 1.5 steals, 6.5 boards. They have Jimmy Butler at 6.5 assists, so we're getting a full assist value. Boom, value on FanDuel or on PrizePicks versus the on PrizePicks versus underdog. So if you like Butler, they have him at 6.5.
Oh, I hit the under on that, man.
We're not finna arbitrage this. So you think he gets exactly 6 if we can get the over at 5.5, 6.5 on?
I mean, he's always between 4 and 8, right? So hey, that's 6 is down the middle.
Oh no, Jimmy Butler's also at 47.25 fantasy points over there. 13 rebounds and assists for Jimmy Butler. Your thoughts on that? So that's 7 plus 6, right? Okay. Bam Adebayo 3.5 assists over there, and Bam Adebayo is at 3.5 assists over here. Okay, so a couple of linear numbers here, and then a couple of numbers that are slightly different. If you guys aren't on Underdog yet, you know the drill. You should be. If you want the same deposit bonus that we get for PrizePicks, we also have it for Underdog as well. Click that link in chat. Boom. First deposit, they'll double it instantly. No slow drip, no playthrough, none of that nonsense. So get it going. All right, I'm scared to get caught up on chat, but I'm gonna.
What they say?
I'm telling you, man. The steak cook debate is like one of the most controversial things. That like it will literally tear lifelong friendships apart.
Yeah.
John Hector says EO ketchup with teriyaki sauce. No, not ketchup with teriyaki. I like ketchup or teriyaki. I prefer teriyaki, but also it's got to be the right steak, right? If you can find a good steak with like a good amount of fat trim on it, a little juicy, go for it. Down here, I haven't found my favorite brand or my favorite cut yet, but I think tonight I got some New York strips. Let's see what we're going. None of that steak is crap if you need it. It's just straight up eating meat. Let's go. We got a bunch of regular Hank Hills in the chat. Putting sauce on a steak is disrespectful to the steak. Sheriff Gon Get You says, I get stuff all the time. I don't want to see no pink on my steak. Cook that sucker twice if you need to. I'm good on that blood juice. Free Discord's a must. You guys should just stick to eating beef jerky, then save some cash. These people.
Beef jerky's pricey, bro.
It is. Nothing sets off the flavor of steak like some ketchup. I'm okay. Emerson says Butler over PRA. Let's go. I remember when I first used to ask for steak sauce, and the waiter would look at me with the "What the f, really, dude?" kind of face. Well, why do they have steak sauce? Somebody's using it. Okay, we're a bunch of closet steak sauce users. Rivers versus Eric gonna be Doc Rivers against Fulcher. That'll be fun. Eric, I'm gonna call timeout after the next fast break. Stop! I gotta put Paul Millsap in the game. Hit the thumbs up if you want this steak debate to stop. God, if you like beans in your chili, you better not let them Texans know. I don't really eat chili like that. Hate how you say ketchup. It's ketchup, man. Miss me with that ketchup crap. Steak's overrated. All right, we're gonna have a steak problem. I'm gonna talk to PrizePicks, see if they can add a steak over under on minutes on the grill.
What was that picture you found of Depot and Jimmy Butler with the steak? Can you show that?
Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but
It's perfect. It's perfect.
I was trying to find a thumbnail picture for Oladipo, and for some reason when I went to Oladipo on on Google, this is where I get pictures for. There was just randomly this picture of Oladipo and Butler, photoshopped with giant steaks in their hands.
It's a Stein, bro. We're talking steaks. This is the steak themed stream.
I don't know the context of this picture, but yeah, I guess ironic that now we have in this steak, the great steak debate of 2022. Oh man, what do you know about DC mumbo sauce? Oh no, Jerry's carry out. Man, you guys, we done lost the chat. Yeah, but over under what 5.5 minutes on the grill for a steak, and then we'll have PrizePicks put that on there on Steako Tuesday. All right, so this game we're skittish on. Keep an eye on the Tyler Hero news. If he can go, maybe we jump into some of his stuff. But more importantly, if he can't go, we might like Gabe Vincent or stuff like that. Bing bong.
Super chatted $1.99. Gundecker. Hey, Abel, man, I appreciate that. Now we have a top dono of the month of May. Let's get it popping. What up, Suave? All right. So I guess it sounds like you're going to be a little bit more enamored with the late game. So I guess we'll wrap up this one. There's really on the list that I got so far. I got Hardness. I got more Harden. I got more Sixers. Harden assists, Tyrese Maxey threes, Tobias Harris fantasy or real points. First half Harden maybe. Fringe. I wrote down Butler assist fantasy. So are you telling me there's nothing else on the Heat that you expect?
I could get down some Depot if like maybe one of those questionable guys are out or. Depending on when the props are, they'll probably drop them like an hour before luck.
Okay.
They always do it this late.
But I mean, if everyone's in, like if Hero's in and Butler's in, I mean, what could you really get to on Oladipo that you would feel great about?
It would depend on his lines, but probably look at his just depending on what his PRA is.
All right. And remember last time these two teams played. That was when the Heat found Tyler Hero and attacked Tyler Hero, right? Or the Sixers.
Exactly.
The Sixers.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm thinking, if Tyler Hero starts doing the same thing, Maxey burning them, they're going to put Depot in more.
Okay.
We've seen closer do that.
So with that line of thinking, let me ask you this. With that line of thinking, with Depot's emergence, with the literal last game, like wasn't that a game without like Embiid? Or that was the game where there was no Harden and Embiid, right? And the Sixers blew out the Heat because they just found Tyler Hero and went off on him. Mm-hmm. So with that in mind, with Depot's emergence, with Butler playing, and with Tyler Hero having a respiratory infection, under 28 fantasy points, that do anything for you?
Yeah.
Slow paced game?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to add that to the list.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
I think unders could be pretty good in this game, obviously for good reason. Pace.
Abel almost super chatted $1.99.
Bing bong. We're getting a lot of bing bongs. Let's go, chat.
If people are getting hungry.
I'm gonna buy steak sauce with your blood money, chat. Oh yeah, we're gonna take a picture of this fat porterhouse tonight. I'm gonna think. No, shout out to Abel. Abel with a $2 says, and Josh Hector with the $5 dono. I appreciate that. You guys are the best. Man, right off the bat, getting the month started only going. Babe says, if you could only pick one stat prop to save your life, what would it be today? Good God. The aliens invade Earth. They suck you into the sky. I want Andre Iguodala. They say you got one prop tonight or the entire planet Earth gets destroyed. I want Tyler Hero under 28 fantasy points. Let me revisit that answer after the last game, Bape. But all right, so I'm adding Tyler Hero under 28 fantasy points to my list here. And 18 points for all right. Steak Cook under prop. Let's go. You asked most outside DMV about Go-Go or Mumbo sauce, and they're lost. If you could pick one prop to save your life, what would it be? That's another. Yo, what is this question? Babe says, if you guys both asked the same question. Bape said if you could only pick one stat prop to save your life, and then Cudden said if you could pick one prop today to save your life. Bro, am I gonna get gunned down tonight for touting an over on Harden assist. Anyway, let's look at the last game here for now. Hector says I have the biggest D of the month. Look at that, guys. For $5.01, you could now have the biggest D of the month. Get Hector out of here. He's swinging it. Mavericks at the Suns, main event tonight. We got 214.5 total. You good?
Yeah.
Hey, your blur thing disappeared?
Yeah, I took it away. It was driving me crazy.
Is that a danger sign on the curtain behind you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You good?
I'm good.
Are you the guy that watches the button? Like, what is? Are those is that's not the outside behind you, right? Because it looks like it's dark outside.
Oh no, it's blacked out windows.
Let me find out, Josh, that you're like Area 51ing it right now.
That'd be awesome.
So we got all this save your life stuff, the alien. Okay, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Mavs, Phoenix Suns, 214.5 total, 5.5 point spread. Good God. Let's go pull up the Mavs side here. So we got much less news to worry about in this game. Devin Booker recovered fully. We're ready to go. So we'll start with the Mavericks side of the basketball. And I'll spell it correctly this time while I pull up the board. We get Luka at 7.5 assists, 3 threes, 52 fantasy points, 1.5 blocks steals, 6.5 free throws. Looking through here, Jalen Brunson, we've been attacking him. He's at 18.5 points, 3.5 free throws, 3 assists, 32 fantasy points. We also get Dwight Powell props and Spencer Dinwiddie props. So I can't imagine a high level of warm and fuzzies in this game, much like the last one. So we're going to be I'm expecting to be super selective, but maybe you could surprise me here. Starting with the Dallas Mavericks, did you have some props that stood out to you? They're going to make some slips of yours tonight over on PrizePicks.
Yeah, man. I mean, the Suns, they're just getting destroyed on the glass. I noticed that during the season too, and then you really noticed in the playoffs. I mean, and all these Mavs guys are solid rebounders, so I couldn't make a firm decision on which one I liked the most, so I kind of just rotated in different ones where I had some cards with Finney Smith 5 rebounds, some with Reggie Bullock 4.5, and some with Luka at 9. Yeah, I think Luka's going to be pretty active on the glass, and man, your projection's broken form. I know it's not an ideal matchup because you've seen Monty Williams trap the primary guy and with using Bridges and then having Crowder come as the shadow double team guy. Which I mean, I think he's gonna see a lot of Mikal today. But it's Luka, man. I mean, I think he's still get there. I mean, you have him projected for 67 fantasy points. He's at 52 on the board.
Yeah, I don't like that projection. I have to fix that. That's actually
okay.
broken.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, but yeah, it's not a great matchup. I probably like his rebounds still the most, and then yeah, Brunson. So Brunson, let's say that game theory is true, and they try to really trap and shut down Luka. Brunson's gonna have to be the guy. I mean, it's been those two mainly carrying it. The books have him at 19.5. He's at 18.5 points on PrizePicks. So we're getting a point discount. I could maybe get with that if we think that game theory holds true. And then yeah, Finney Smith.
So just to touch on that,
yeah.
Underdog has Jalen Brunson at 20.5 points, while PrizePicks is giving you 18.5. So you're getting a bucket discount.
Yeah, and the books have him at 19.5. Yeah, so it's lower than all the books. Yeah, I like it. And then I think I have it in a core card. I forgot. And then Finney Smith. Do I just stick with his rebounds, or what do you think? So his PRA opened at 19.5, and now it's down to 18.5. I think people are clicking some unders on it. I feel like I feel like he's going to be needed in this series for sure.
I mean, he's going to play 45 minutes, right?
46. I mean, they're going to run to the ground, but he's playing almost the whole game.
Yeah.
That's why I like his rebound prop so much, because if he's going to play 45-plus minutes, I mean, Reggie Bullock's playing like 42-plus minutes too. I mean, those guys are going to bound to run into rebounds. You just got to be in the right place, bounce to you.
5 rebounds in 46 minutes.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, rebounds can be a little bit unpredictable. 10 rebounds last game against Utah, 5 the game prior. Yeah, I definitely understand. The opportunity's there. You never know which way the ball's going to bounce off the iron, right? All right, I can get down with that. Do we get something on Underdog for Finney Smith? They have him at 5 rebounds, so both sites listed him exactly 5. It would feel like 5 is at worst a push if you're getting 45, 46 minutes. And then you're just hoping for an extra one. So I don't hate that call. But you could also make the same case for like fantasy points and PRA. Meaning he's dang near playing double the amount of minutes as fantasy points projected. But
you're going for 23 PRA, man. That's like 5 more PRA. You never see that with projections. Like PRA projections, I mean, they're always spot on.
Okay. And Underdog has him at 12.5 real points, 17.5 points in rebounds. So PrizePicks is putting him at DFS. I don't know why every time I click away on a PrizePicks page, it like goes straight to the top. Wait, they didn't take him? There he is. They have him at 11.5 points. So we're getting better, softer lines for the majority of guys we're comparing on PrizePicks. So we do get a $1 or 1 point discount on PrizePicks as well for DFS. So I could get talked in just on the sake of he's going to play minutes or likely to play a bunch of minutes.
He will for sure. And what about your boy Powell? You're the Powell whisperer, man. Like, it's not an ideal matchup for. I mean, well, it is ideal in the sense that like he's very attackable, but you like to play Powell in a fast-paced matchup. I mean, his points are really low with Luka with that alley-oop and that pick and roll they have. Especially if Luka's struggling with his shot and getting trapped a lot, he tends to look for him.
So I do prefer him in faster-paced matchups. Yep. I also think that for Powell to get maximum minutes, it's with this game script. If you disagree, let me know. But the Suns are projected to win by 5.5 point spread. Suns at home have been dominant. They're full strength here. And I know Luke is a beast.
I was thinking first half props for him. Sorry,
okay. I was building all that to say that I think Maxi Kleber is the guy until he's not, and the way he wouldn't be the guy is foul trouble. And we've seen that a few times in this playoffs where Kleber gets into foul trouble, and then we get a couple more minutes for Dwight Powell. But a reasonable range of outcome for Dwight Powell is 20 minutes today. So I wouldn't have the warm and fuzzy there, but I guess if we're talking first half, we can go look at the last couple first half rotations. Dwight Powell in the last game, 4.5 minutes in the first quarter, 3. So 7.5 minutes is the mark we're looking at from the last game, and then the game prior at all right, similar 7.5. If I told you just 8 to 10 minutes was the expectation for him with Luka.
You just got to make 2 buckets, bro.
2 buckets.
2 alley-oops. One per quarter.
Okay, so the prop that we're talking about is 3.5 points.
Points, yes.
What about the 6.5 fantasy?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean that's not that. Like, it's still enough that if he makes those 2 buckets, then we're just a rebound or 2 away from hitting that. And
I mean, Aiden's definitely attackable, for sure.
It's not my favorite. I'm gonna put it as a fringe. We'll go fringe. We'll just add fringe game.
Sure.
So we'll go full game, and then Dwight Powell, first half points or FP.
And do you want any of these 3-point props for like Bullock, Finney, Brunson?
Something Brunson is.
I went. I mean, I tell you, I went points with them, and I maxed out, so I can't bet. So
no, I think that's fair. I think we're getting a deal First of all, versus underdog, we're getting a better deal on PrizePicks, and then you said the books have them for an extra implied point. So we'll go Jalen Brunson over 18.5 points as the line that we're looking for. And what's the DFS click? Do we want fantasy points or rebounds?
Yeah, rebounds or
Rebounds, FPS. All right.
Or even assist prop, man, because he's going to be looking Brunson.
All right. Anything? I don't think there's going to be a good price on anything Luka that I want to take action on. Maybe the 7.5 assists is beatable. Maybe.
If he's getting trapped a lot, yeah, he's really good at finding.
By the way, hey, looking at the last couple games for the Mavs against the Suns, and these are some big minute games, 38, 38, 36, 33. Luka has yet to exceed 50 fantasy points. He's topped out at 48, and hiccup. Wow, I just had like a massive hiccup. Only one of those games is from this season, and in that game, Luka played 38 minutes, 44.6 fantasy points. So we can maybe go look at the rotations on that game, but I would expect that to be maybe a blueprint of how they'll play him today. So what did we say that date is? It is 120. All right, cool. So let's go look at the January 20th minute rotation, and then.
Oh, Aiden didn't play that game.
Aiden didn't play it? Okay. So Lucas started with Brunson, Claybaugh, DFS, and Porzingis. So it's a whole different game, right? It's not fair to look at that then. So, okay. Then we won't. We won't.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. What is going on in chat right now? What is going on in chat right now? Jesus H.
What are they doing?
I don't know. I'm seeing pizza, pineapple, Fortnite. I don't know what's going on.
What's your favorite Mavs prop? I mean, I'll tell you. My cards that are live right now that are going are Bullock rebounds, Finney's rebounds, and Brunson points. That's what I entered on Saturday.
I'm thinking Brunson points has to be. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's the one that I know the usage will be there. 20 plus shot attempts is very real.
Sure.
The pace is going to be like we're coming from a Utah series where the pace was super down. I guess the numbers could be a little misleading because of the games Luka didn't play, but I think Luka on the court just sets up better shot selection for Jalen Brunson, and the minutes will be there for him. So I like that. Also like they can get to the free throw line quite a bit and shoot at a high efficiency. So I kind of like the Brunson there. And then just for the sake of minutes, man, I'm a sucker for minutes. I don't know that I rolled out of bed today expecting to put money on Dorian Finney-Smith, but those minutes are undeniable. And,
crazy, man.
Yeah, and to have some of those lines what they are, I mean, this is stuff you can hit on accident. Like I think you could be on the court for 45 minutes and accidentally get 5 rebounds.
Yeah,
think so. Box out.
Yeah. Not only the Suns being bad on the glass this year, but like just. Yeah, rebounds. You don't. Okay, you're not shooting well. Who cares? Like you can still go grab a board.
Yeah. Then I'll probably get something on Dorian Finney-Smith. He's actually been like a little bit more involved offensively than I pegged him for too. Most of his shots can be from behind the arc. I saw someone in chat like his 3-point prop.
Yeah, him and Reggie are living in those wings, those corners.
All right, so right now I think in fantasy points or PRA.
Okay.
So.
That PRA differential in your production is crazy, man. It's the most I've ever seen for a PRA.
So I mean, some games he has these spike stock games. I guess I'll take the fantasy. But I mean, I imagine I'm over on fantasy as well. I'm at 34 fantasy points. And they're at 24, so I had 10-point cap. I'll throw a blanket over it. I'll take fantasy.
Okay.
So all right,
I like it.
Add that to the list. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. All right.
And you're not down with Luka's rebounds.
I just don't think like Luka. And it's been this way the whole playoff series and really throughout the season. The studs get priced up, and I think
I don't think that like that's where the edge is at on this slate. So I think I'm staying away with.
Oh no, but we're playing with limited hands cards
Right.
here. So.
Right. I'd be maybe.
So you're just gonna fade Luka altogether? Like you wouldn't even go with this fantasy? I didn't play this fantasy. I'm just wondering your mindset. Like if people are people out there in the chat are thinking about it and don't know what to do.
We need to watch game film on how they cover Luka. If they trap Luka, I could be game for some.
I'll check it out. Because we've seen Monty do that. He did it against Steph all the time. Who else did he do it against? We called it that one game. They trapped him
For against the Suns.
Yeah, we called it too. We were like, watch, they're gonna trap him, shut him down. They did.
I think I remember that too. Yo, Card Freak, appreciate that sub. Welcome to the channel.
Yeah, Monty does that. He'll
Who was that? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because and then Mikal, like we were joking about him being like.
Was it maybe like a Paul George or something?
It was a primary guy.
Yeah, it was a big usage guy. I remember that specifically.
Yeah.
It was a Jokic. It was Jokic, I think.
Was it?
I don't know. Anyway, we're stalling, but I remember us specifically calling the trap defense.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Because you're not only dealing with Mikal, who's already a good ISO defender, on ball defender, but like you're also dealing with their trap with Crowder coming in, sneaking in as a shadow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. Cool. Tyler, appreciate the sub. Says they can't trap Luka. Too many shooters are playing 5 out. Luka over everything. Luka over. I mean, maybe, but I just don't. I don't know. I still got respect for the Suns' defense, and a lot of times teams will rather get beat by Reggie Bullock than Luka Doncic. That makes sense. Like Luka sets up a lot of shots, so I don't think you're off base to take overs on Luka, Tyler. Like I would never talk anyone off of anything. Luka.
He's one of the best at dealing with traps. So I would agree with that. I mean, him and Jokic are probably the two of the best in the league.
Okay. All right. Let's flip over to the Sun side here. We've got Chris Paul at 40 fantasy points. We've got Chris Paul at half a double-double with 9.5 assists as the other prop. So you probably just take the assist line there. No sense in taking the double-double prop without there being his assist at least 10. They've got DeAndre Ayton at 11 rebounds, 17.5 real points, 36 fantasy points. Mikal Bridges is at 21.5 PRA. Very DFS-y minutes for the lines here. I think we've said that every game this series. 26 fantasy points on Mikal Bridges. And then Devin Booker, King Booker. They got him at 2 threes. 3.5 free throws made, 30.5 PRA, 36 bing bong.
Fishfan 0073 super chatted $10. Gund Acro, stop disrespecting the Heat. Jimmy at the bottom of the screen.
I mean, are we going to reset graphics this late into the season? Maybe. I will say all these guys really ended up in the playoffs, so maybe we'll have to put Jimmy in there. We'll gray over Jokic and Trae Young and put Embiid in there. We just might. Fish fan with the 10. Move over, Hector. There's a new biggest D swanging around these streets, buddy. Poor Hector. We also got Cam Johnson at, 10.5 points, 19 fantasy points. So let's key in on the usage, guys. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton. So let's go use the on-off court tool over at NBA Wowie, hosted by Add More Funds. Let's click on Phoenix. Luka averaged 40 on PG and Kawhi. I like the Clippers defense over the Suns defense. No, Suns defense is way better than the Clippers defense this year when they're fully healthy. But I guess I'll say the same thing. Clippers fully healthy defense is strong too, but it matters which incarnation, right? But Luka's good. Like I'm not knocking Luka, but there's a difference between like two good defenders and a really good team defense. Suns when they're healthy, really good team defense. Boston Celtics, right? Teams like that. Mikal Bridges is literally one of the better defenders. But I'm not calling Luka to get shut down, Tyler. I think you might. Get it wrong.
In his career history, I looked up some stats. Career history against Mikal Bridges, when he's guarded by Bridges, Luka is 27 of 51, so he's shooting over 52%.
That's better than I would have gave him.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's see. Let's take off. What was I
I
doing?
mean, that's small sample size. That's like 2 games for Luka
Yeah.
with 51 shots. But
All right, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and DeAndre Ayton. Let's put them all on the court. Yeah, Luka's a beast, guys. I definitely do not let me be the guy that gets you off or on to Luka. We just out here talking. But Luka hasn't exceeded 50 fantasy points against the Suns in a while. But with that said, asterisk context, there was Porzingis in those games, different look lineups. Ayton in not in some of those games. Playoffs are a different atmosphere. So certainly Luka can hit the overs. But when it comes to betting these props. The Lukas, the Jokic's, the Steph Curry's, the studs, they're going to be priced up. So you're paying big prices on their props, and that's kind of just not my process. I like to attack the more lower lines to sweat, and I think Luka's lines are all pretty up there. So if you like the overs, take the overs. But I'd rather take the smaller stuff. What are you thinking? I mean, my own projections have the over.
I'm waiting on the assist prop now. I mean, like it makes sense. Like, but you're betting your money on those secondary guys make the shots. But yeah.
We are literally having a measuring contest in chat, and I am here for it, I guess. So with Booker, Paul, Ayton on the court at the same time, we got Booker at a 29% usage rate, Ayton 21, Paul at 18. Paul, of course, a 44% assist rate, and they're all a little over a fantasy point per minute. So how do we rank these guys out? Do we trust and believe Devin Booker is full strength, full bore, ready to go? If that's the case, we probably expect Devin Booker to lead the team in fantasy
John
points.
Wayne 23
Bing
super
bong.
chatted $10.01. You were saying, LOL.
I mean, so I think you did that a little. I don't think you had to do all that, but hey, I appreciate that, Hector Fish, man. Oh, that's all he has, man. Hey, let him be the biggest D, bro. 32 minutes for Devin Booker in that last game, so a good sign that we probably get 33 to 35 minutes from him if they need him to go. He only had 13 real points, 5 of 12 shooting. Pelicans, of course, throwing Jose Alvarado, throwing not on Herb Adam, and worried about his health anyway. So how do we podium these Suns here? I think Chris Paul 9.5 assists is something that I would start with. I think that is a line that even with and without Booker, that 40+% assist rate is just way too live for a meaningful game. And he wants to start this series off 1-0. He doesn't like to get behind. So I think 9.5 assists for Chris Paul is something I'm interested in. It's kind of weird that they have him at 9.5 assists with half a double-double, but the rebound prop being just 4.5. Obviously, he could flirt with double-digit rebounds, but I'll take the assist here on Chris Paul. And then Ayton versus Booker, depending on how healthy you think Booker is versus how healthy you think or what the matchup is for Ayton. I wouldn't talk you off of either, but I'm thinking Chris Paul is going to emerge as my favorite of the big three there. And then we were talking about Dorian Finney-Smith, the minutes, the PRA, and the fantasy points. Because of how many minutes he's playing, we can kind of apply a lot of that same concept and game theory onto Mikal Bridges, and we have been applying it for the last couple games. Mikal Bridges is playing minutes, 44, 47, 41, 40. So much like DFS, it's error and opportunity, right? You're going to get 40+ minutes. Well, you don't even have to be a per minute beast at any specific category. You can essentially be half a peripheral per minute is what we're asking from Mikal Bridges at 21.5 PRA. Same with 26 fantasy points. I have him at 34 fantasy points, so kind of like DFS, I get a little bit of a gap between my projection and theirs. And then if we like the line shop here, going over to what Underdog is offering on Mikal Bridges, they have him at 22.5 PRA, so that's linear, 15.5 real points. So I think something on Mikal Bridges is probably going to be something I get behind. But talk to me about Chris Paul assists, and then do you have a lean on Booker and Ayton or Ayton?
Yeah, so I already entered a lot of the 9.5 assists for Chris Paul, so I have exposure to that. So I obviously like it. And I'm thinking Ayton, man. Like this is a prime spot for him. This is like the best matchup he could ask for in the playoffs. I mean, against guys like Powell and Maxi Pad, like yeah, it just depends. Like if Booker just is fully healthy and just takes over the shot volume, and then we've seen where Ayton just like fades away. Like I would have wanted to get on his rebound prop if it was at its usual 9.5 to 10, but they juiced it up to 12, and then now it's back down to 11. But
to double down on that, on the season, Dallas allowed the fewest points per game via the 3-ball, which means reverse funnel, right? The funnel defense to the front court. Dallas was a little bit better in points per game via like points per game allowed. However, that metric doesn't truly compensate for the pace metric, right? If Dallas is going to run one of the slowest pace, well, then they're not going to allow a ton of points.
Was playing in a lot of those games too,
right? So their perimeter defense is still pretty strong. The Reggie Bullocks, the DFS, even Claybaugh can get some blocks. So I agree with you. I think perceptually the matchup is better, at least for scoring and rebounding. And if you watch any of that Utah series, Rudy Gobert could have had 20 points a game if they used him. Yeah. So I'm with you on Ayton. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought.
No, you're fine. No, I'm glad you brought that up because I mean those stats and a lot of those stats you got to take with a grain of salt because it's Porzingis accounting for a lot of that defense in the paint, which probably made it a lot better than what it was. So yeah, you take him out and look at the stats with that. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be even softer. You have him projected for 46 fantasy points, 10 higher than the PrizePicks projection. Yeah, I mean you're just always worried about guys like Booker and Chris Paul. I mean Chris Paul will get him the ball, but Booker can just get hot. But what would you rank? Would you rank it mid or
for Chris Paul assist?
No, Ayton's fantasy.
36 fantasy points. We said, what did I have him at? I have him at 46. Yeah, I'll take the mid there. Especially like there's a lot of insurance in it, right? If Devin Booker's not full strength, it's not a strong matchup anyway for the perimeter guys. There's a lot of boost for Ayton here. So and I don't expect him to be in like foul trouble or nothing. So yeah, we'll add it to the list here. So and it is positively correlated to Chris Paul's 9.5 assists too. So it'll go over. You just went straight up fantasy points, right? 36 fantasy points.
Yeah, because I want access to his boards too. Because I mean, he should.
By the way, Ayton on underdog, 18.5 real points, 11.5 rebounds, with a 30.5 PRA. So they have higher PRA projection there, 11.5 rebounds, and then they also have an extra point on the real points. So yeah, your better lines if you like overs on Ayton are going to be on PrizePicks here. So my girl just brought me this pizza, and I'm in the middle of a stream, and now I just got like this fume of pizza coming at me, Josh. So if we finish the stream in 5 minutes, don't be surprised. I'm just kidding, but I'm not though. I want this pizza. So we'll put Ayton on the list.
Would you rank Mikal over him? Like, let's say someone's trying to decide between.
So I'd probably say no. The main reason I wouldn't is just because Mikal Bridges is never gonna like have a usage rate near Ayton, although he does play more minutes. But the minutes aren't equal when you look at the fourth or fifth option on a team versus a potentially top 2 option. So I'd probably say no. I probably have Ayton over, but that's not me saying I don't like Mikal Bridges. That's just me 1-to-1. I want the usage. So, what is the Ayton prop that we want to add to the list, though? Fantasy or PRA? Fantasy, right?
I was saying fantasy just because, like, I want access to his rebounds, too, because he should eat on the glass.
All right, so we'll go over 26 fantasy for Mikal Bridges.
I just don't feel comfortable clicking on 11 for him.
Lit.
Because he does play at high post a lot on offense, so misses out on those 4 offensive boards.
Okay. No Jay Crowder, no Cam Johnson, no Cameron Payne,
Any of those guys do anything for
I
you?
don't want that. I got enough pain, man. I don't need more.
Just mute the mic, dog, and eat some pizza. I don't want to see me stuffing my. I'm not. I'm not. Okay. I mean, honestly, we're basically done. So that's what we got here. So, is there anything that we missed in chat? If you have any plays that I missed, there was a lot of nonsense in chat today, so something might have slipped through. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm glad you guys are having fun. But if you guys, if you had what I mean is, if you had a real question that maybe got lost, feel free to ask it again, or a suggestion or something that you like, and we'll knock it out. I also, a reminder, I did a baseball stream before this. I had 3 lines that I kind of like. It was Braves Mets under half a run, Rasmussen over 4.5 Ks, and then I'm kind of thinking Alex Bregman. I don't know if that Astros lineup came out yet, but I was expecting Jose Altuve to be back and probably lead off. So it's an RBI boost for Bregman, who's already in a super plus matchup, hitter versus pitcher wise. So that's what I had on that. And if you guys are watching out there, if you're here just because you know PrizePicks, or if you're here just because you know Underdog and you're not on the other site and you want to sign up for the other site, well, I'll drop 2 links in chat with either of these links. Like if you're not on Underdog or if you're not on PrizePicks, if you sign up using either one of these links, when you deposit, they will instantly double your first deposit up to $100. So you can line shop, play the better value, play the better line on either site, and then there are some benefits. Underdog will give you the rivals, and they'll give you up to 20x, and then we're getting softer lines on PrizePicks. So absolutely reason to be on both sites, and you might as well. So let's get caught up on chat here. Like the video. Yeah, man, like the video. Also, if you have a Discord account, make sure you're in the free Discord. It's completely free, 100% free. There's no gimmick behind that. There's a link in the description below. It's for the Gundacker Gaming Discord. I saw earlier, or last night, a boy, Aguida, he plays Fortnite. It said playing Fortnite. Well, I play Fortnite. Danny plays Fortnite. So maybe we get some group squads going if you guys are on that. I also play MLB The Show. And stuff like that. So make sure you're in the free Discord. And then this chat right here, the PrizePicks and props. You might have to rename this, but you guys have been crushing it. I'm loving the vibes. I'm loving you guys sharing plays, research, stuff like that. So bring the good vibes. Bring the positive plays. And then if you are a channel member of this channel, you hit that join button below. Make sure you link your Discord account with your YouTube account, and that'll actually unlock these member only channels. And we've been posting the prop detector daily. So the stuff that Josh ends up on is some of his favorite props. He posted it here, and you guys can. You don't have to tell everything we do. This is. We don't say, hey, you should play this. This is what we're playing. This is what Josh is playing. He keeps receipts. We've seen these screenshots from Josh. They're ridiculous. So if you guys want some of that, that's another cool way to support the channel and support the stream. So get in the free Discord and have some fun. All right, let's get caught up on chat, and then we will matriculate.
After you get caught up with chat, we're gonna do a rank order favorite.
All of them, or just like some of them?
Just like core 4.
Yeah, we can. Let me open up that. Here we go. All right, best MLB PrizePicks says Dustin Lauer. Dustin, I was thinking either Rasmussen over 4.5 Ks or Braves and Mets under half a run. I think it's Max Fried versus Chris Bassett on the bump. Now, both offenses are pretty talented, but both of those pitchers have really, really good run prevention metrics, good Sierra, good ground ball rates, good expected ERA, all that good stuff. So I'm hoping to take the bats a couple innings to get calibrated. If you wanted to sweat strikeouts, though, Rasmussen is coming off a 7 strikeout game. He had double-digit swinging strikeout stuff, and he's facing probably the worst lineup in baseball in the Athletics lineup today. So I don't mind that. The only pushback on Rasmussen is I don't know how often he gets to 90 pitches today. I think he can get to 80-plus pitches. He did get to 80-plus pitches in that last outing, and it's a super plus matchup. So both of those would probably be 2 of my favorites. Yeah. It's free. Yeah, it's completely free, Hector. We don't do gimmicks here. Obviously, we have premium stuff and perks for being part of the paid stuff, but we still keep a lot of this stuff free. Ayton had 13 and 17 boards against Dallas this season compared to 5 versus J-Val in the regular season. Yeah, good spot for Ayton and the front court to take advantage of. DeAndre Hopkins got suspended. Yeah, I saw that. Parker says Tobias 3-pointers and DFS over 3 points, and Ayton first half over 9.5 points. Okay, what up, Jermaine? Not a good look. What's not a good look? BK 407. I don't know. How do we get into the YouTube members again? So Chris, if you to become a YouTube member, below this video there should be a join button. It says join, and there's like I think it's $4 or $5 a month for the first level one. After you do that, just Google link YouTube to Discord. There's videos you can find, or DM me on Discord. I'll send you the video that I got, and connect it. I think like once an hour they align and they start approving access from Discord or whatever. It's complicated, but it's not. But yeah, the join button below gets you started, and then link your Discord with your YouTube. Galaxy Opa Paul Millsap Day. It might be Bridge. Did they ever announce their starting lineup yet? I don't know. I just don't know what to expect from them. Could be Paul Reed. Could be Paul Millsap. George Hill rolled out. Marcus Smart. I don't see any news here for that. So it definitely could be. I don't know. We haven't seen any Millsap lines. We haven't seen any first quarter lines for the Sixers yet. The prop sheet's definitely a game changer. Yeah, man, it's really good stuff. And it's I want you guys to do your own props too. But hey, mix and match. Glenn, please bless me with the top 5 NBA prize picks trying to win today. All right, let's do it. Let's rank it, and then we'll get out of here. So here's the list that I got from the stream today. Josh, listen closely. Let me know if your list has something different than mine, and then we'll put together, I don't know, a four pick flex or something like that. We'll rank them, and then yeah. So from what we talked about, I got James Harden assists or fantasy points or free throws. Got Tyrese Maxey threes. I believe over 2.5 was the line. I got Tobias Harris fantasy or real points. Then on the other side, I'm thinking Tyler Hero under 28 fantasy points. Sounds like everyone other than Kyle Lowry is probably likely to play. Hero specifically dealing with a respiratory illness. On top of that, we've seen Oladipo emerge in the absence of Jimmy Butler, and I think with Lowry still out, I think Depot makes a lot of sense. And if you remember, a few weeks back, the Miami Heat faced the 76ers, and the Sixers were without Embiid and James Harden, and they shocked everyone. Remember, the Sixers won that game, and the reason they won that game is point Tyler Hero out, I'll make him a believer. And they went, and then just dominated Tyler Hero. So if they play that type of approach again today, Hero could lose out on some minutes. He's already got a respiratory thing anyway. So I'm kind of thinking under 28 fantasy points is something I want to get behind. Then we looked at that last game, Jalen Brunson over 18.5 points. Dorian Finney-Smith rebounds or fantasy points. Chris Paul 9.5 assists. DeAndre Ayton over 36 fantasy points. Mikal Bridges over 26. Then for first half, I listed Harden over 23. And then fringe stuff that I wrote down was Butler assist or fantasy points full game. Dwight Powell first half points or fantasy. So we need to pick out four of these that we would put together that your psycho self would power play. So let's nominate. I'm thinking Chris Paul 9.5 assists.
Okay, yeah. I have a lot of that entered me. Actually, I maxed on it, yeah.
Best. All right. What else are you thinking? Maxi threes? You could take 25 shots without Embiid.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in agreement. I think, like we said, I think the Sixers are going to check it from 3 today. Yeah, that's fine.
Maxi over 2.5 threes.
And then, both these games are just so slow in pace, man. I'm going to go...
I think we sold ourselves on Aiden a little bit.
Yeah, I can go
correlates with the Chris Paul assist.
Yeah, especially in a slow-paced matchup. He's just going to live on that high post jump shot. And then...
So fantasy points for Aiden, 36 over?
Yeah.
All right. And lastly...
last one for the core 4?
Mm-hmm. Core 4. Are you asking me or are you about to tell me? Is that a question or a declarative statement?
I'll give a suggestion. I mean, I'm going to say...
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm debating between Finney's rebounds or Lucas' assists.
Pick one. I don't want to. I get it. It's hard.
You liked Luka's assist. Let's go with it.
What is it? 8.5?
7.5.
7.5. Luka Doncic over 8. 7.5? 7.5 assists. All right. Bam. There's 4 that we throw together. Boom. Chat. Just like that. All right, chat. I'm going to be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord in just a few minutes if you guys want in on that. Go to RunDFS.com. You also get access to the DFS projections, the prop projections, all that good stuff, and my baseball spreadsheet. Baseball locks 30 minutes earlier than basketball tonight. Keep that in mind if you are trying to toggle between both of them. So I appreciate you guys hanging out as always. If you wouldn't mind, hit that thumbs up, man. We had way too many viewers today for less than 60 thumbs up, man. But it's all good. It's all good. Well, it looks like chat says they kind of like Finney rebounds over the Doncic assists.
I said, I mean, I haven't like a ton of cards, so
okay.
That's
so
why it's kind of hard for me today because I entered all my cards. I did the Sunday Monday stack.
all right, chat. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys making part of our day, be part of your day. Be back at it tomorrow. More baseball, more basketball, right? There's basketball tomorrow. Right? NBA schedule. It's
Yeah.
not, all right.
Well, yeah, we got yeah.
Okay, the Celtics and Bucks Warriors series. All right, so tomorrow we are looking at we got Bucks, Celtics, Warriors, Grizzlies. All right, so another 2 games today. So we'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, and that'll follow my baseball stream. So, yeah, hit that like button on your way out, man. Tell somebody out there that you love them because we love you. We're headed to the voice chat. Get in the free Discord. Appreciate you guys for another good stream. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money. Oh, dude, I'm about to eat this ketchup well-done steak so MF hard. Oh yeah.
You should do a live stream of it.
Just cooking it. It's the eating part. It's too far down, but
Yeah.
no, we've been George Foreman grilling steaks lately, so I'm sure that's even worse. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it was a fun stream. I felt like it was like the last day of school. Everyone was just cutting up and don't care.
Yeah. It's hot.
What are you gonna be in? It's an MLB chat today.
Yeah, it would be MLB chat, but it's a short slate. It's gonna be pretty easy to knock out the content for baseball, or like for player pool wise. And I mean, we already know what we're gonna do for basketball, so it's just kind of laid back Cadillac Jack on a Sunday afternoon, not after breakfast. After, anyway. All right, man. I'll see you in there.
All right, see you.